Hello everyone. It is April 1st, 2020. This is week 2, day 3 work. So I'm going to go ahead and go over 3 problems today that we guys can get a head start on this. It's very simple stuff. If, like I told you before, the more difficult stuff was the addition and subtraction of fractions and whole numbers. So today we're going to move on to something a little bit, we're still going to stick with fractions, but we're just going to change it up a little bit with the operations. So let me zoom in here. Let's work on this one first, okay? So it says Gracie has 3 empty 1-quart containers. She will pour half a quart of cereal into each one. Which model represents the total amount? We're looking for the total amount of cereal that will be in each container. Okay, so each, right? You guys know that word. You understand that whenever you see each, it can be either multiplication or it can be division. Just depends on which one we pick. So what confuses a lot of students, I know I saw this when you guys are taking practice exams. They'll put the word quarts or feet or any type of measuring unit, and people automatically think that they need to convert convert units between each other. It's not always the case. Okay, here they're telling you that there's 3 empty 1-quart containers, so we know they're 1 quarts, but that really doesn't make a difference with the question, because I know that there's 3 of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do here on the side, I'm going to draw 3 of them. That's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so she's going to pour, I know each one is 1 quart in total, and she will pour half a quart of cereal into each one. So if she was to fill this in, she would fill in only halfway. So I'm going to assume that this is halfway here, this is halfway here, and this right here is halfway, right? It's right in the middle. So they want to know which model represents the total amount of cereal that will be in each one. So all they're looking for is the model. We're not actually trying to solve any questions. We're not multiplying these two or dividing these two. All we need to find out is which one looks very similar to what I just drew right here, right? So I'm going to look at A. I notice that there's 1, 2, and 3 containers here. Each one shows you that there is half. This little symbol here tells you, it's showing you that this is considered half of what it shows, right? Now, this could be an option because the top one looks like it can be half as well. It measures the same amount, right? This should be a half as well. So this could be an answer choice because there's 3 containers, 1, 2, and 3, and each one only shows you half of it filled in, right? Let's go to B. Again, we see 3 containers, but notice that here it's telling you that every little square is considered a half, right? So that means that this has a half filled in, and then the other half is filled in as well. So this is one whole. This is one whole thing filled in, but these right here are empty. The last 2 are empty. We need to find 3 containers that each have half full, right? Each one is half full. So B would not be my answer choice. We go to C. Again, notice that there are 3 containers. And looking at our symbol here on the side, it tells us that 2 squares, right, is considered a half. So this is 1/2, this is 1/2, and this is 1/2. Notice up here, it's only given us 1 square. So this is not considered a half, right? That would be a quarter of it, right? A quarter of it that's empty. So since we need 2 squares to fill in a half, these containers are not a complete. It's not one whole, right? It's telling us that this is showing us here that it's 1/2 filled in. This is only giving us 1 square at the top. So that doesn't make any sense. We need to find one that is showing us 3 containers that have a half filled in. So that doesn't work. And then we look at D. Same thing. It tells us that this right here is considered a half. We do have our 3 containers, but It's not showing us that there's a half full, right, for each one. So that doesn't work either. So our only answer choice would be A. Right? Moving on to the next one. Okay, here's where we get into it. So it says Justin is going to pour into 4 glasses of for his siblings. So he's going to pour into 4 glasses or cups into for his siblings. If he pours 2/5 a pint of milk in each glass, how many pints of milk will he pour? Okay, so I know there's 4 glasses. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I know that for each one, he's gonna pour in each cup. He's gonna pour 2/5. So this should have 2/5 filled in. This should have 2/5, 2/5, 2/5. Okay. Since each one has 2/5, am I dividing it up or should I multiply between? Because that's the each, right? This could be multiplication or division. They want to know how many pints he poured, of milk he poured, right? So they want to know the total. It doesn't say the word total, but they want to know the total of all the glasses of milk. So ask yourself, am I dividing or am I multiplying? Simple. I need to multiply these 4. So I need to multiply my 2/5 times the 4 cups. So I'm gonna do it here at the bottom. So I'll put 4 cups multiplied by 2/5. Okay. And like I said before, multiplication of whole numbers and fractions are a little bit different. You see a whole number here, and you see it's multiplied with a fraction. So you ask yourself, what am I supposed to do here? Simple. I need to just convert this whole number into a fraction. How do I convert it into a fraction? Think about it for a second. What should I do? If you said put a 1 under it, you're correct, right? All you have to do is put a 1 under it and it easily becomes a fraction. And when you're multiplying here, all you have to do is multiply straight across. You can multiply, now we're going to be able to multiply 4 times 2 and 1 times 5. And we're going to be able to go ahead and multiply these two. Put my equal sign. So 4 times 2 equals 8. 1 times 5 equals 5. But now I'm left with a fraction that looks a little bit different. What's different about this fraction? What kind of fraction is this? So this is an improper fraction. And why is it an improper fraction? It's an improper fraction because if you look, my denominator is less than my numerator, right? My numerator and my denominator. It's telling me that my denominator is less than my numerator. That can't be possible because this is telling me that there's only 5 total parts in that whole, right? But it's showing me that there's 8 filled in. So what I need to do, I'm gonna go ahead and divide my 8 and my 5 to convert into a mixed number, right? Because I'm gonna have something left over. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my denominator outside, put my numerator on the inside, and then 5 divided into 8. How many times can 5 go into 8? 1 time, right? And I multiply. 1 times 5 equals 5. 8 minus 5 equals 3. And I have nothing else to multiply or bring down, so I'm going to leave it as it is. So all I have to do is label what each one represents, and I'm going to go ahead and have my mixed number, right? Okay, so my denominator is going to stay the same. This will be the denominator. So when I write this again, I'm going to write it here. My denominator stays the same. This right here is my numerator, my new numerator, which goes up top, 3. And this is the whole. This is the number of times that my denominator was able to go into my 8, into the numerator, right? So that means I have one whole number, so it only goes in there 1 time. So at the end, I have 1 3/5. This right here is not an improper fraction anymore, so it's set. It's good to go. It cannot be simplified because there's nothing that goes into 3 and 5 evenly. So if you look at your answer choices, A would not be an option, neither would B or D. Only answer that's left over is C. Alright, pretty simple stuff. Not that difficult. And same thing with the last one. I'm not gonna actually solve this one for you, but I am gonna set it up for you. Okay? So what they want to know It's a very simple question. It says which represents 3, we know that's the number 3, times, simple, we know what times means, 3/8. Okay, we need to read that carefully. 3/8, right? So 3 is my numerator, 8 is my denominator, correct? So which one represents 3 times 3/8? So we'll write it here on the side, 3 times 3/8. I should be able to solve this, right? People are going to look at just the models here, but if you notice, every single model is going to represent 3/8. This shows, I'm sorry, each one represents 3 times 3/8, right? So this is a group of 8 and 3 are shaded, and there's 3 different groups. This is 3/8, this is 3/8. C shows you 3/8 as well, and so does D. What changes, what's going to help you find the answer, is looking at this answer choice right here. Notice how every answer choice here is different. So what you're going to have to do, you're going to go ahead and solve this question here just the way we did it. Make this whole number into make this whole number into a fraction, right? I just showed you how over here. You already know what to do. Once you do that, you'll be able to go ahead and multiply these two, and you know how to multiply when you're doing these fractions, right? And once you do that, you'll get an answer. If it's an improper fraction, you're gonna have to use division to solve this, okay? So if you need to go back and look at this question here, then come back and look at this one. It'll be the same thing as this. And once you get that final answer, and I'll tell you right now, it is gonna be a mixed number. Your answer will be a mixed number. Once you do that, you'll be able to go in here and look at your different answer choices and see which one's gonna make sense for you. Okay? If you guys have any questions, please message me and I'll be able to help you guys out. Okay? Thank you.